thank you for having me here today. I'm really glad to be here. I'm here to tell you a little bit about what our team based here in Inverness can do to hopefully help most of you here in the room today. We belong to the Enterprise Europe network, and that is, as it says here, the world's largest business support network for companies with international ambitions. And by that, I mean if you have an international dimension to your business, that could be that you're looking for customers overseas, it could be that you're looking to source suppliers from overseas. But if you're involved in either of those and there's an element of internationalisation to your business, we'd love to be able to try and help you. What we talk about is helping ambitious companies as well innovate and grow. And by innovate, we mean maybe looking at your own internal business practices and how you can improve those, or it could be that you're looking to make better the goods and services that you are providing for your customers. But again, if there's an international dimension to that, we will try and help. We are a little team of three. My colleague Ilona is here too, and I have another colleague, Michelle. We're based in Highland Council, and although we're based in Highland Council, we actually cover the whole of the Highlands and Islands. And we are part of a Scottish consortium with Scottish Enterprise. So our funding comes half from the European Commission and half from Scottish Enterprise. I mentioned that we're the world's largest business support network, and this is just to give you, I suppose, a flavour of the scale of our network. There are 3,000 people like me across the world, so it's not just in the European Union, although actually that's where we have, or we're more concentrated. So every single town and city across the European Union is supported by an Enterprise Europe network office and team. We're in 600 towns and cities across the globe and in over 60 countries. So again, we focus a lot on our European Union presence, but actually there are often places outside the European Union where SDI will have great presence. So whether it's the States or in Asia, but there are often places where there isn't an SDI presence, but there might be an Enterprise Europe office or team there. And a good example of that is a local company we work with up here was keen to break into the Chile market. Now, I suppose we'd normally go, okay, is there anyone else that can help with Chile? But we were actually able to help him with our colleagues in Santiago, and they met him when he went over, and before his trip they had managed to supply him, or supply us, to give to him lots of contact details of the types of industries and people that he was looking to meet with and work with. So before even getting there, he had a great agenda all worked out for him. As Enterprise Europe network of colleagues, we have two sides to our role. So the first side is that we are here to support you, our local companies and clients, and try and help you internationalise. But the other side is we're always here to help our network of colleagues, and they are there to do that for us. So this is the making connections in Germany, but for us today is about how we can tap into our network of German colleagues to try and get the most out of it for you. I'm not getting used to this before at all. So just to give you a little snapshot about our network of colleagues in Germany, there's over 3,300 of them. Johannes was explaining about the scale of Germany, and I think that is very well reflected in our network of colleagues there. So based in 63 organisations across 39 towns and cities, and they're in a wide variety of different types of organisations, anything from innovation centres, technology centres, chambers, banks, universities and internationalisation support organisations. So there will be lots of people in Germany that are able to help you and your type of business that we can connect you with. Now, I'm not going to, I'm not quite sure what's happened to the configuration of everything. I put up a wee slide here about twinning, but I spoke to Ewan briefly before we started. Probably should have had that conversation yesterday. Because Ewan's going to be giving an in-depth overview about twinning. But just to give you, I suppose, a quick overview of it. Last year, so I think historically there has always been, towns have been twinned with Bavaria, so across Scotland. And then last year, the Scottish Government and the Bavarian Ministry of Economic Affairs signed a memorandum of understanding to work more closely together, particularly in the field of business and trade and academia and research. and it's something we're all very much behind. I know that somebody new who's gone into the Berlin hub, Alexandra, is going to be, again, helping encourage these relations between Scotland and Bavaria. And again, we've got 40 EEN colleagues in Bavaria. So again, a really good opportunity, I think, to make connections on the back of this. I think there's going to be a lot more momentum going behind this joint declaration. So it's a good opportunity to make the most of that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we actually do. And this is just an overview of the types of services and support that we can provide to our clients. The first, I suppose, tranche of the work we do is about the internationalisation. This is the main part of our work, and it's trying to help companies trade internationally. We have a great tool as part of our network called POD, which is the Partner Opportunity Database. And this is something any of you can search at any time through our Enterprise Europe Scotland website. You can go on and search to see any existing opportunities. Now, there's over 2,000 at any one point, usually. And it's often our first port of call if we're going to go and visit a company or have a meeting with them and we know the line of their business or we know what they're interested or looking to do. We'll have a look in our database and see if there are any existing opportunities that might mean something to them. A good example recently is one of the clients we work quite closely with, something came up in the database and we alerted him to it. He was really interested. He made contact with the company straight away. Really positive conversations, and they very quickly established that our client could be a supplier to this company. And at the same time, they started having conversations, because it was actually a Dutch company. It was this is just in the last few weeks. The Dutch company was also looking for a distributor. So our Scottish client here ended up agreeing to be their distributor. So what's great about the database is you're pushing on an open door. These are live opportunities and people actively seeking business partners. It's a good start. So you can search the database, but also we could put your profiles on this database. They're anonymous, so it would just say a Scottish company is looking to or is offering, and we can do it that way. But I hope you'll have a look, or if you have time, we can maybe have a look together afterwards and we can help guide you through some of that work. I'm guessing quite a lot of you here in the room will have attended trade fairs either as with a stand or as a visitor. And one of the aspects of our work is something called a brokerage event. And quite often at the major trade fairs across Europe, there will be a brokerage event that's been organised by the Enterprise Europe Network team and perhaps some other organisations. And these allow visitors to trade fairs to meet with other visitors and make appointments and make some really good, or add some really great value to your trip of going to a trade fair, because sometimes it can be quite exhausting walking the floor and going past all these trade stands. But if you can have some really focused meetings with people and you know that's going to be happening, that can be a great bonus. And often the brokerage events are free. It's just part of the trade fair entry ticket. Market intelligence, we get lots of inquiries in that are direct from companies, referred into us from some of the other partner organisations as well. And this could be anything from, I guess, in the case of this room where there's lots of Scottish food or local food and drink companies and tourism companies, it could be as simple as us trying to find out where are the Scottish societies. Is that a good place to start in these countries? Because there often is a group of people that have got together and are not just Scottish, but are local people who enjoy Scottish culture. And that can often be a good place to start. Or it could be what are the volumes of sales of gin in that country, where are the main importers of gin or whiskey or anything at all. And we can try and find that out either through databases that we have access to or through our network of colleagues. And quite often, it will probably be alluded to throughout the course of all these presentations, but we are all working together. So it's not a case of just coming to us or just going to SDI or just going to High or just going to the Chamber. We're all working together to make sure that everybody is getting everything that they need and could possibly need. So, and also if somebody comes to us and we're not the right person to help, we will happily refer on to our partner organisations to see who can do what they can for these companies. advisory support. So it could be that you're looking for advice on EU legislation and standards that applies to your product or your services, particularly people in baby products, toys, etc. There are European safety standards that need to be adhered to, and we can give information on that. The European Commission also uses our network as a vehicle to report back to them any issues that companies are having with European legislation or policy. So if you're finding anything there that is proving to be a barrier to you conducting business, please let us know and we can feed it back. And you might feel, well, what's one voice in the Highlands worth? But actually, if there's several hundred voices from across Europe and that's all collated together, European Commission will look at it and look to make some changes. And just a general inquiry service. So it could be anything you've had an inquiry in through your website from a buyer in Germany, Sweden, wherever. We can and you don't know them from Adam. We can contact our network of colleagues and find out, is this a bona fide company? Are they registered to your local Chamber of Commerce? Do you know them? And just give you some reassurance, which I think can often be quite helpful. And that's something we do quite a lot of too. I mentioned before about meetings with our colleagues. So if you know you're going to a country like Germany, we can contact our colleagues there and try and set up some meetings for you with them. It's quite good if they understand your story a bit better and a bit more clearly, and then they can try and make those right connections for you as well. Or they can set up some meetings with you with maybe some of their clients. So it's always good if you can let us know in advance if you're going. We can try and add some value to your trip for you. And then in terms of innovation support, so if it's general innovation that you're looking for, so improving your goods and services, improving how you conduct your business, Highlands and Islands Enterprise is a great innovation team. There's also innovation support through Business Gateway. But if there's an international dimension to that, so if you have developed some piece of technology or some way of doing something that you think other people might benefit from, we can try and get that out into Europe, make people know about it, and they're able to license that from you. Or it could be you're seeking some support that you can't find within the UK, and we can try and contact our colleagues and try and get some help for you that way. And obviously there's EU funding, which is a minefield, but can be really worthwhile. And there's lots of support there to do that. We also have, as part of our network, something called sector groups. So whether it's food and drink, whether it's tourism, whether it's textiles, anything at all, there will be a group of our colleagues from across the globe that have that knowledge and expertise and interest and skill that are able to make connections for you in that field. We've done quite a lot of work recently for a company that Ewan's working with as well in the field of energy storage, and that's been quite interesting to gather in market research and intelligence from our network of colleagues, but those who are involved in the sector groups who have an interest in that field. I just picked up a couple. I was slightly disappointed because our database is filled with lots of opportunities of people looking to find partner tour operators or tour agencies. None of them were in Germany. So I just picked up a couple of random kind of fun ones for Germany. So one is a German producer of high quality organic oils is looking for other suppliers of organic oils. So if you know of anybody, give me a wee shout. But it could equally be they're looking for suppliers of different types of alcohol, different types of organic foods. I mean, there's lots of different types of partnership opportunities in there. And then there was another one where a German startup company specialising in insect-based food products is looking for production partners. So they'll supply you with the raw product if you've got the machinery to turn it into some kind of textured insect protein to send back to them. So please let me know if anyone's got any specialist equipment. It's not been mentioned yet, but maybe it will be. There are a couple of leading trade fairs, both in the field of food and drink and in tourism, that take place in Germany. Anuga is the world's largest trade fair for food. It takes place in Cologne every 2 years. So the next one is October 2019, but a good chance to be leading up to something. And there will no doubt be some type of brokerage event at it. There usually is. So please give us a shout. Often SDI will have Scottish pavilions, so you can join as part of that or apply to join to be part of that. And then annually, there's the leading travel trade fair, which takes place in Berlin. So the next one's March 2019. So again, lots of time to prepare for that if anyone's interested. And again, these aren't just in Germany. And on our website, in fact, our European website, you can search for trade fairs taking place across the globe in different fields and sectors. So if you're looking to maybe see what might be worth you travelling to, give us a wee shout. We can do a wee check for you. That's kind of it from me. I think I hope I've been clear that we all work together. I think that's really important. And I think with Brexit coming up, sadly, it's a really good time, though, I think, to make these connections now while we can. And there's really never been more support, I think, to help companies internationalise. Please make good use of us all. We're all here to help and help grow your business. Thank you.